earlier today I was doing a bit of writing in this little farm that I like. They've got alpacas, look. And pretty cool. You can go up to the bar and, ask for some like grain or whatever to feed them. It's quite nice. But it got me thinking about animals in captivity. Now, I'm generally against animals in captivity, but sometimes it's all right, Like them alpacas, they live their life awryly. I wouldn't mind being, certain type of animal in captivity. In fact, I think I'm quite like one now. I'm kind of like a lizard in this caravan, like in one of them big like reptile tanks, just in case of flies through the roof. If you could just drop like pasties and soup and that, it'd be nice. Wouldn't mind it. But yeah, we used to have a tank when I was growing up, fish tank. My dad kept fish as pets. They're not pets, are they? Fish isn't a real pet. You can't stroke a fish. You can't teach a fish to sit down and roll over. You can't put a lead on a fish and take it down the park for a walk. Well, you can. You can only do it once. Stinks the second time. And let's not call it a fish tank. Let's call it what it actually is. It's a see-through fish prison, isn't it? See-through fish prison, completely surrounded by air. No escape whatsoever. It's cruel, really. Must be really stressful being a fish in a fish tank. It must be horrible. My dad did what most fish owners do, though, to try and make it a little nice. So he put stuff in the fish tank, decorated it with little trinkets and that. Like a little statue of a skull, or a little deep sea diver. Well, that's not going to scare him. Or a small statue of a castle, miniature castle. Why do we put them in fish tanks? A fish doesn't know what a castle is, does it? A fish doesn't have a hereditary monarchy. They're more intelligent than that. They looked even more worried, really, when he put that in. And fish looked worried anyway. I mean, they should do. Pet fish always die. They die all the time. And it weren't just us that had fish that were dying. It was every kid at my school. We all had dead fish. And it's not that we spoke about it. You could tell just from the names. You'd go around there and they'd have names that don't match. You'd have like Salt and Flop, or Zig and Juliet, You could tell there'd been deaths. My dad's fish would die at a rate of knots, though. They'd always be dying. All apart from one. One fish would never die. Stephen. And Stephen wouldn't die because Stephen was a murderer. He'd kill all the other fish, But still, Dad would just fish the dead ones off the top, and replace them with new ones. I'd say to him, Dad, why don't you just get rid of Stephen? Rather than constantly putting fish into their doom, He'd go, I can't. It's not Stephen's fault. It's just part of his nature. Besides, I like watching him. I don't like that, That excuse wouldn't fly for any other animal, would it? Imagine that with humans. Just getting humans and putting them in a locked cell with a killer. It'd be horrible. Imagine that, just getting old ladies and marching them one by one into a gala bingo filled with old ladies' bloody limbs, and in the corner just a ferocious, furious Harold Shipman. I don't want to go in. Don't worry about it, Mabel. I'm sure it'll be fine. Dad, why don't you get rid of Harold Shipman and just, keep some more old ladies? I can't, son. Besides, it's not Harold's fault. It's just part of his nature. Anyway, I like watching him.